Welcome back to Peace, Love and Tarot. This reading is for Leo, Sun, Moon or Rising. Leo, this is your weekly intuitive tarot reading for January 27th to February the 2nd. This week we have the Nurturing Star Mother Oracle card, the Seven of Cups, the Three of Swords, the Six of Swords, the Devil, the King of Swords, and the Five of Swords. Lots of swords energy, as you can see, Leo. We are dealing in that realm of, mental energy, maybe, overthinking and overanalyzing, really trying to figure out, why a situation ended up in the way that it has done. I feel like you're breaking free from some kind of illusionary energy. Yes, I think there's some hurts here. There has been conflict, maybe internal and external, but you are about to make that shift of seeing the bigger picture, and that truth will set you free and will have you moving on to, much calmer, more harmonious times for you. So let's head to the Oracle card, guys, and start off with that. Definitely makes sense in this reading. Star Mother, how can you mother yourself? You're more held than you can possibly imagine, loved and cherished so dearly that if you knew, you would not spend 1 second of your life in separation, worry or fear. Let the mother carry your burdens. Let her rock away your fears. Lay all of your worries, regrets, shame and guilt on her altar. Please, please, sweet child, do not fear. You are love in motion. If you allow it, you are already healed. Let her remind you of your goodness. Let her love away your fears. So I definitely feel like some of you are going to require some extra nurturing this week if this is your reading. And that can be through self-care, guys. Taking, eating good food, walks in nature, yoga, meditation, whatever works for you. Or also, just realizing that we all do have angels, spirits, guides, a connection to spirit or God, whatever you want to call it in your belief system. There are greater forces that really want you to succeed, that really want you to be happy. So they are there for you as well. You just need to ask for their support and guidance, and also reach out to your family and friends as well if you need to. Because in your recent past here, Leo, I do see, the key theme for this week is, you are being freed from an illusion. You are breaking free from a situation that it's almost like a tower, guys. Something that was built on a shaky foundation or on an illusion. Devil energy definitely talks about, illusion, things happening behind the scenes, maybe sort of being, hypnotized by external appearances in the situation, and that kind of drawing you in. So, some examples could be maybe you entered into a relationship with somebody who externally seemed either very attractive, bright, shiny, and then you got into the situation with them, and as soon as you were in that commitment, they changed, and you saw them for what they were. It could also, yes, some of you could have been drawn in by looks, or by material elements of that person. Maybe they were financially successful, good provider, that sort of thing. Some of you may have also been dealing with a person who showed you their best side, and then once you were in that commitment, maybe they turned the other cheek and changed or showed their true colors. Now that can be in love or business, guys. I'm not limiting this to a love reading. The same thing can happen in a workplace. The charming boss or mentor or colleague who turns on you, who backstabs you, that kind of energy. So that's what I'm really seeing with this combination. And, it really, I feel like there was a period where you were really under the spell of this person, really in the illusion. However, definitely hasn't played out as you hoped or as you were promised, because for me that Seven of Cups is also my hollow promises card. So that's sort of like somebody promising you the world or promising a lot and not delivering, or somebody that's a smooth talker who really talks the talk, but there's no backup, there's no materializing those promises, those words into actual action or tangible opportunity. And with the devil energy, I mean, we see the lovers at the front here, and they're chained to the devil. However, chains are loose enough to free themselves, but they are staying. Now, I think that's because, in the situation, it could be for you as well, that there is some kind of payoff for the cost of staying in the situation. Oh my goodness, Leo, I've done this twice in 2 days. My camera just, I forgot to clear the card and it cut off halfway through the reading. Yeah, it was a good reading and I'm going to have to pick up where I left off and repeat some of it. So let's see how we go. As I was saying, guys, you know, there is some kind of payoff for the cost of staying in this situation. So ask yourself, what is that? Is that because, you know, there was something, you know, financially to be gained by being with this person, by staying in this job? Is it because the fear of change is so great that you don't want to, you know, to make that happen? That's the kind of thing that can keep us stuck and keep us from, you know, moving into the unknown, which, you know, we can have great fear of the unknown. But there is a reason why the devil is depicted with these bat wings, Leo. And that is because, you know, these are the situations that over time, you know, actually suck our life force, and therefore they are completely unsustainable. So, you know, the fear of the unknown, you know, and moving on and leaving the situation might be scary, but I'll tell you what, staying in this situation is much worse long term. You know, when we allow, excuse me, when our life force gets drained, you know, we can end up losing our mojo, losing our energy. We can end up with health problems. Our immunity can dip. We can get chronic fatigue and that sort of thing. And, you know, then it is even much more hard to find that strength and to find that will to free ourselves. But this is an illusion. And we know that, you know, illusions, if we don't listen to our intuition or the signs from the universe and we stay in them, often down the track, we find ourselves in a tower moment where the universe steps in and brings it down for us in a much more chaotic way. So we really want to avoid that energy if we can, and, you know, do that of our own free will. But I can see here, you know, it's caused you conflict, this situation, internal and external. You know, the Swords energy is about, you know, communication. And Five of Swords, it can be cutting words, argumentative energy. It is actually a victory card, the Five of Swords, but it's like a dirty victory. It's a victory that comes at a cost. I mean, this person here that you're dealing with could have been trying to somehow manipulate or use you to win at their own game, to, you know, to successfully fulfill their own agenda. So I really feel that it's time to take note of that, to retreat your energy, to put down your swords, to not be part of this battle anymore. That's what I'm seeing here with the Five of Swords. It really is an energy that's very sharp and it's very unsustainable as well. And, you know, at a number 5, it is a card of conflict, but number 5 is also the number of change. So it's like the antidote to free ourselves from the conflict is to embrace change. Yes, the fear of the unknown can be great. However, you know, like I said, it is short-term pain to, you know, overcome a slow, you know, long-term misery. So it's really important to heed that warning, to rip off that band-aid. And yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it's not going to be painful. The Three of Swords, I mean, there's levels. It can be deep pain. It can be really, you know, having that emotional breakdown. It can be the tears, the purging, and all of that. However, even if those emotions seem intense and the hurt runs deep, actually starting to let that out and transmute it is the first stage of the healing process. As they say, breakdown leads to breakthrough. And as soon as you've opened up your heart and you're feeling those swords go through it, you've started the healing process. Yes, you know, there might be depression and sadness, but the next stage in the grief process, guys, is actually, excuse me, is actually acceptance. And acceptance is the place where we can actually really start to move on, and I do see that in your near future. So yeah, look, there could be you know, grief, sadness. Some of you might just feel, you know, momentarily sad and then just get on with things. Others of us, you know, they might go deep. Maybe those wounds are deep, but, you know, just let it all out, and then, you know, that's when, you know, that wound really starts to heal, and it heals twice as strong. I strongly feel that some of you might have been in some kind of karmic contract with this person. Maybe there was a life lesson to be learnt from it. So, you know, there has been a really positive experience in terms of you're not going to repeat this again. So yeah, I do see that message as well. Now the King of Swords, guys, the King of Swords is going to be that hindsight. Hindsight is a beautiful thing that allows you to look back and to join the dots and really understand what played out in this situation. I mean, the King of Swords sits on this cliff edge here. He has a 180-degree bird's eye view, and from that position he can see, exactly, the big picture of the situation. He can see that maybe somebody else was the puppet master orchestrating the situation, playing out their own agenda. But the King of Swords is now, from that position, can now be the grand orchestrator of his own life. He can take control. He's going to give you the clarity and the vision to see the truth of that situation. And he uses the sword of victory to cut himself free, to cut the energetic ties, to fully release yourself from what could have been a very strong karmic contract. And this process, guys, is truly transformative. That's why the King and the Queen of Swords have the butterfly motif on their thrones and on their crowns as well, because this is like it's an alchemical process, releasing what holds you back, what doesn't serve you, and creating space for what does. So I think you're really going to feel a sense of grand victory once you've actually just stepped away from this situation, from this person. And in the near future, with that clarity, with that insight, that is what sets you free. The Six of Swords, we're going from a 5 to a 6, is about harmony, moving on to more peaceful, calm times, and there's real growth to be had in that. Now, the reminder with the Six of Swords is, if possible, leave the baggage, the hurts, the harsh words, the victim mentality. Leave all of that on the shoreline and carry on with an empty vessel. Yes, there might be some grief and despair at having to make this rite of passage, to have to, move out of the home, leave the job, leave a partner that you thought was stable, even though there might have been something completely different. However, this is necessary to move from that emotional roller coaster into a much brighter, more calm, stable future for yourself, Leo. You will look back, the King of Swords will keep delivering to you that truth that allows you to join those dots and see that this is all for a reason and you're meant to move on, and there's much bigger and better things coming your way. So Leo, do keep in mind this is a general reading. It's definitely not going to be for all of you. If it is your reading, I wish you all the best with it. Lots of love. Take care of yourself. Don't forget that extra nurturing is required this week. Ask your, angel spirits, guides, whatever you believe in, for their support and guidance, and reach out to your own network as well. Feel free to leave me a comment if you would like to share. It's always nice to see if it resonates and how it's playing out in your daily life. And I'll see you back here next week for another reading.